Hey, how's you going? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Got another snowy day here at the lake, and snowed quite a bit yesterday. Pretty windy. Yesterday was Monday. Schools were cancelled. They were talking about a big nor'easter coming up the east coast, and going to hit us pretty hard. We kind of skipped it. It skipped over us here. We got a little bit of snow, probably 6 or 8 inches, but the winds were high. But I guess the poor old Avalon in Newfoundland got nailed big time. So for all you folks in Newfoundland, chin up. Get out there in your tractors and have some fun plowing snow. But anyway, I'm not going to plow snow today. I've got another little project I want to talk to you about. Some time ago, I tore apart my workshop and insulated it all and put sheathing up in the walls and tried to make major big improvements. Well, I did make major improvements, but they kind of fell by the wayside here this winter. But anyway, one of the things I did was put a heat pump in it, and I had lots of questions about how is the heat pump making out? Is it working? Is it expensive? You know, is it any good? Is it worthwhile doing? So I want to talk a little bit about the heat pump that I installed in my shop. So here I am out in the shop. It's just mid-afternoon here, and it's not real cold outside, and it's not cold in the shop. I'm here in short sleeves. The temperature, it's not warm by any means. I mean, in the shop here, it's not warm. I have the thermostat for the heat pump set as low as it'll go, and so the because I don't want the temperature to be hot out here, because I don't want to, be uncomfortable when I'm working. So a nice low temperature is good. It keeps condensation from forming on the cast iron tabletops of the saws and whatnot, and the tools, and also the wrenches and whatnot. They're not so cold that when you pick them up and make your hands ache. You know how that goes, right? Especially when you get older. So yeah, it's nice. So anyway, and like I say, it's not real cold outside. So, the last maybe couple of weeks, it's been abnormally cold here, but I have to say the heat pump here in the shop has kept things nice. So out here in the shop, some time ago, like I'd mentioned earlier, I stripped out the whole shop and insulated it all. So I only have R12 insulation in the walls in the shop. But it's R12 insulation with a vapor barrier and then a 1/2 inch particle board sheathing. In the ceiling in the shop, I've got 2 layers of 1.5 2-inch. I've got 2 layers of 2-inch styrofoam. So I think that makes about R4, R5 insulation in the ceiling, and above the shop here there's another just empty room upstairs in the shop, in the barn. We just use storage up there and whatnot. It's insulated, but it's not heated. So yeah, so 4 inches of styrofoam insulation in the ceiling, R12 in the walls. It's just a concrete slab, 4-inch concrete slab with no insulation underneath it. I used to always battle with condensation before when I tried to put different heat sources in the shop here. I had a diesel fired salamander heater one time. Used that for a couple of winters. All it did was put condensation in the shop, and that just added to the rust and whatnot. I had puddles on the floor. It was terrible. It made the shop warm, but it was terrible. I have electric. We'll just show you here. So I have these infrared heaters up here. It's a radiant heater. It's a catalytic, or I forget what you call them. Ceramic, there you go. It's a ceramic element in that. So what it does is it heats objects in the shop. So as long as you're standing in front of that, it was nice and warm. The tools in front of it would absorb the heat. It would be nice and warm. But the air in the shop wouldn't warm up. So, although those would keep us warm, they never really heated the shop the way I wanted it to be heated. All right, so that brings us back to the heat pump. A long while ago, when heat pumps were first coming into vogue, we got a heat pump put in the camp. It was a Daikin 18,000 BTU heat pump. Now, I think heat pumps, I'm a big fan of heat pumps. I think heat pumps are the best development of an invention in the 20th century. Okay, just put that out there. I'm a heat pump aficionado. Anyway, the heat pump we had in the camp, it worked great. When we first installed that, I had a wood stove that we supplemented the heat with, and we got rid of the wood stove and put a propane heater stove in, much the same as the wood stove. So between the propane heater stove and the heat pump, it was keeping the camp nice, good, comfortable temperatures. But my Daikin heat pump was getting on to 13 years old, and I'm thinking that's probably getting close to the end of its life. I didn't want it to fail during the heating season, because then I'd be stuck. I didn't know that the propane stove would be able to heat the whole camp. so I decided I would replace the Daikin. So I got a new heat pump for the camp, another 18,000 BTU one. And I took the old Daikin heat pump from the camp and I installed it here in the shop. I had it in the shop here for about, I'm going to say a year, just to round numbers off, about a year. It was through one winter. During that winter, the outside unit was icing up a lot. In fact, I had to defrost the outside unit 3 times. And the way I did that was I put a tarp tent around it and I took my salamander diesel heater, stuck it out there for about 3 or 4 hours to melt all the heat off it because it froze up so bad. It froze up so bad it wouldn't make heat at all. So I was thinking, yeah, see what I mean? That Daikin was at the end of its life. I'm glad that happened here in the shop and not in the camp because I'd have been in a pickle then. So anyway, I decided, because of all the money I'd sunk into the shop here with the insulation and whatnot, I figured I can't just let that go. I better continue down this rabbit hole of spending money on the shop. Spend a lot of it. But anyway, I decided I'd go out and replace the Daikin heat pump here in the shop. So what I did was, I did some shopping around, did some searching, and talked to different people and whatnot. And I found an outfit. It was in Montreal, and I think they sell all over, but it's called Senville. Senville. When I first heard about Senville years ago, it was a cheap, Chinese-made heat pump. Stay away from them. No good. But they've changed a lot. I think personally they've changed a lot. They've improved their footprint in the heat pump world. They've improved their reliability. Their units are better made now. They have a lot more options than even what the Daikin had, but the Daikin was 13 years old. So anyway, make a long story short there, I bought myself a Senville Aura model. Now the Aura model is good for minus 30 degrees. So that's what I have here. It's a Senville Aura. It's a 12,000 BTU unit. I figured 12,000 was all I needed here for the shop. The size of my shop is 22 by 24. 12,000 just about is not big enough, but for being it all wide open, I didn't want it like comfy like a house. I figured 12,000 would suit me fine. So I have here a Senville 12,000 BTU Aura model heat pump. And I have to say, it's working good. So the Senville heat pumps, one of the things that I like about them that's a little bit different than, say, the Daikin I had before, or the Panasonic that I have a Panasonic heat pump in the camp now, and I'll maybe make a video about that later on, but right now I don't want to talk about it because I'm not having good luck with that one. Anyway, one of the things about the Senville is you can program it so that the temperature controller, the remote thermostat, reads the temperature in the room and tells the heat pump to turn on or off. Whereas the old Daikin unit, and the same with the Panasonic that's in the camp, the temperature sensing is all done in the head. So it's got to be cold at the head there before the unit will come on to make heat. Whereas with the Senville here, if it's cold wherever the remote is, it's called follow me mode, then that's when it tells the heat pump to make heat. So right now I just want to show you here, I hope you can see this, that says 17.5. So that's the temperature up here at the head, 17.5. Now I'm going to show you the remote. So over here in the corner by my computer station, here's the Senville remote, and I hope you can see that. I have it set at 16 degrees, and I have it set at 16 because that's as low as the remote can go. And I also have a thermometer mounted right here. I hope you can see that one too. It's kind of dark here in the corner, but that says 14.4. So the handheld remote is saying the temperature is at 16. If I get below that, turn the heat pump on. Well, I'm measuring 14 right beside it, so the heat pump should be running. And right now, well, you can just barely feel a little bit of heat coming out of it. So it is making heat. It must be doing a good job because it's maintaining a nice cool temperature here in the shop. So I'm happy with that. I've got one other thermometer over here in the corner. I want to show you what that one says. So let's go look at it. Okay, this one is over here by the garage door, sitting here on the shelf. And if I look at that one, that says 15 degrees, 15.1. So once again, my thermostat set at 16. This says 15.1. The other one was 14.4. So, it's in the ballpark. And like I say, that's a nice temperature. There's a little bit of heat coming out of the heat pump now, out of the head unit. But I'm expecting that'll kick on anytime soon. It was cold last night. It went down to about -8 last night. So I come out here today and it's 17, 14, 15 degrees, good temperature. The heat pump's working good. So one other thing I had problems with the Daikin that I had out here was the outside unit would frost up. And when it frosts up so bad that it wouldn't make heat, well, that was no good. The Senville model is supposed to have a defrost cycle. Well, all heat pumps have defrost cycles in them. But the Senville unit doesn't have a heater in it, but it has a defrost cycle. So we're going to go out now. Today is a good day, humidity-wise and whatnot, for making, I think, for making ice and frosting up on the condenser coil. So we want to go have a look at that right now and just see if there's any ice buildup on it or frost buildup on it, see what's going on. So come on with me, we'll go out back and have a look at it. One thing I have to remember now, though, with the heat pump in there is when I come outside I have to shut the door. Because no matter how good the heat pump is, if you leave the door wide open, it's going to cool the room off, right? Anyway, we get around here behind the shop, and there's the outside unit. I'm going to try to walk over here without falling and breaking my neck. Alright, there's the condenser coil, and there's not even any signs of frost on that. I see there's a little bit of ice build up down here and in the back there. Yeah, there's definitely ice build up on it, but nothing on the coil. Oops, excuse me, wind noise from the fan. I don't even see any ice build up at the bottom of the unit. That's good, eh? No ice build up on this, and this is prime temperature wise for making ice. So we've decided then that heat pumps are a great way to heat your shop. What's the cost now? That's what we have to dig into. How much they're going to cost to heat your shop with a heat pump. First of all, you have to buy one. This is a 12,000 BTU Aura model heat pump. That's the more expensive Senville heat pump because it's good for minus 30 degrees. I can't remember what I paid for a heat pump. I think it was less than $2,000, but I can't say for sure. But if you go on the Senville website, they have their prices listed there. They're in plain sight, easy to see, easy to understand. So you'll see what it costs to buy the heat pump. It's not free, but it's a lot cheaper than, say, the Daikin or the Panasonic. About half the price of a Panasonic. Let me just put it that way. So yeah, you have to buy the heat pump. Then heat pumps, when I bought the Senville one, it said it comes with a warranty. I forget what the warranty was, but in order to activate the warranty, you had to have it installed by a licensed refrigeration mechanic. Well, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So I accepted the liability of my heat pump, going bad. I'd have to pay for that myself. Senville is not on the hook for that. The reason I did that is because my son Derek, he has the vacuum gauges and vacuum pumps and whatnot so that he can commission heat pumps. He doesn't have a ticket so that he can't get refrigerant. So if I lose my refrigerant, well, I'm in trouble. I'd have to get a refrigeration technician to come and fix that. But anyways, Derek had the equipment, so I decided I'm just going to get Derek to install it. So he came out and he installed the heat pump out here in the shop, and it's working great. But there's no warranty on it, so bear that in mind. So let's talk about what it costs to run the heat pump. Ever since I had the camp here, the first of every month I read my power meter and I determine what my kilowatt hour usage per day is. All right, so I had lots of good data here to use. So if I go back to take some readings here, if I look at, you can't probably read these, but I'll just read them off to you. On the 1st of January, 2024, so this would have been daily kilowatt hours used for December of 2023, was 47.5. All right, December 2023, 47.5 kilowatt hours used. So December 2024, 60.3 kilowatt hours a day. December of 2025, 59.9 kilowatt hours a day. Let's talk about what all these numbers mean. In December of 2023, 47.5 kilowatt hours, I had no heat pump in the shop out here. All right, so that was with no heat pump. December of 2024, 60.3 kilowatt hours, I had the Daikin heat pump running in the shop, and it used to freeze up and it would run anyways, not make any heat, and probably use a lot of power because it was trying to run defrost cycles and heating cycles and da-da-da-da-da. And also, I had a 500 watt heater in the pump house down at the lake, also drawing power. So 60.3, yeah, kilowatt hours way up. So now December 2025, 59.9. I'm about half a kilowatt hour less than what I was in December of 24. But what I've done is I've decommissioned the 500 watt heater in the boathouse through the winter because my pump froze last winter, so I may as well shut it off anyways. So I'm 500 watts less of demand there. Plus I have the 12,000 BTU heat pump running here in the shop, and it's working good. It's not freezing up. It's working good every day, making heat. So I only dropped like not even, but almost a half a kilowatt hour a day. But so let's just round those numbers off. I'm at 60 kilowatt hours a day now out here in the shop in the middle of the coolest part of the winter. Whereas before I was about 48 kilowatt hours in the coolest part of the winter with no heat pump. So what's that? 12 kilowatt hours a day to run my heat pump. Kilowatt hours in Nova Scotia cost, I'm going to say 18 cents. Let's say 20 cents. Just round it off 20 cents. Make it more, 20 cents. And I'm up 12 kilowatt hours. That's $2.40 a day to heat my shop. You know, in a month, that adds up, eh? But per day doesn't sound too bad. But I'm going to say I like it. I don't mind that at all to have my shop warm up. So the bottom line is, if you want to heat your shop with a heat pump, first of all, you got to buy the unit, and that's an outlay of cash, capital charge that, you know, just you pay it once and it's gone. And then I'm paying about $2 and, well, even to round that off, let's say $2 a day to heat my shop here. $2.25, we'll say, to heat the shop. I think it's worth it. I'm pleased with it. I'm happy with it. It's so nice to come out in the shop, take your coat off, and be able to work in short sleeves, not be, you know, and also not have your hands ache when you pick up wrenches and tools, not have condensation on your table saw. That's pretty nice too. I like that. So that's the story of the heat pump in the shop. I was as honest as I could be and open with what it costs to run it. 12 kilowatt hours a day in the coolest part of the winter to heat the shop. Now, prior to this, it wasn't taking that much power, I'm sure. After this, it's probably not going to take that much power. So I'm thinking probably over the year to heat and cool the shop is probably going to be less than $2 a month. It's probably going to average out to less than $2. I wouldn't fathom a guess as to what it would be. I'd have to check the numbers, but $2 a day, I can live with that. How about you? Let me know in the comments what you think. Is $2 a day too much, or is that pretty decent? Now, it cost me a lot of money to get here, mind you. But from now on, it's going to be around $2 a day. All right then. Thanks for watching. Sure hope you're having a great day wherever you are and staying warm in your shop. Don't forget to thumbs up me, folks. Hey, we'll talk to you soon.